In this video, we'll delve into the technique Jesus used to enter the state of mind that allowed him to heal, manifest, and even walk on water. We'll explore what he understood about reality that most people still don't, and how that understanding changed the way he experienced the world around him. When most people hear that Jesus walked on water, they think of it as a miracle, something beyond human ability. But what if it wasn't about breaking the laws of nature at all? What if it was about understanding them on a much deeper level? You see, Jesus didn't see himself as separate from the water. He didn't stand on the shore thinking, there's me here, and there's the water out there. How can I get it to hold me up? That kind of thought already creates separation, a gap between self and world. And in that gap, doubt is born. Jesus didn't experience that gap. He looked at the water and saw no difference between it and himself. He didn't experience I and water. He experienced one shared field, one living consciousness experiencing itself in different forms. And because there was no separation in his awareness, there was no resistance in the physical world. He didn't see the water as something to control or overcome. He saw it as part of the same living essence that he was. When the sense of me versus the world disappears, reality begins to respond in completely new ways. The physical laws don't disappear, they simply bend to the new higher law of unity. So before we dive in, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. Welcome to Serenity in You. I am Shira, and I created this video with so much care and attention just for you, after seeing how many of you are searching, wondering, and yearning to understand this topic. Every word and idea here was made to guide you, to meet you exactly where you are. Now you might wonder, how could anyone reach that kind of awareness? How could a human being feel such unity with something that seems separate? It begins with stillness, not necessarily sitting in silence, but quieting the noise of identification. Every time we say, this is me, that is not me, we recreate division. But when thought softens and identity loosens, something beautiful happens. The boundary between you and everything else begins to dissolve. You start to feel that the same intelligence that beats your heart is also moving the ocean waves. It's not you and the water. It is the same consciousness taking different shapes. It's all one living ocean of awareness. Jesus lived from that knowing, moment by moment. He didn't try to believe he could walk on water. He simply rested in the frequency where walking on water was natural. It wasn't an act of will, it was an act of being. You see, he didn't need faith in the way most people think of faith. He had direct perception. And when perception is that clear, even physical matter aligns with that knowing. The same principle explains how he healed. When Jesus looked at someone who was sick, he didn't see a broken body. He saw that wholeness that was always there, hidden beneath the illusion of illness. He didn't try to fix them. He simply saw the truth of their being. His unwavering vision of perception was so strong that the illusion of sickness dissolved in his presence. He didn't heal by effort, he healed by vision. So, walking on water, healing, and manifesting weren't acts of power, they were acts of clarity. Jesus wasn't performing magic, he was living in alignment with reality as it truly is, unified, alive, and whole. And the same consciousness he lived from is still here within you, within everything. We've simply forgotten how to sense it. The practice isn't to become supernatural, it's to remember who you are, the same awareness that moves the stars, the waves, and your own breath. And when that remembering deepens, life begins to mirror the unity you feel within. The kingdom of God is within you. Jesus. Now that we understand what Jesus saw, let's go deeper into how he entered that state of unity, that consciousness where the impossible becomes natural. Jesus once said, "The Father and I are one." That wasn't poetry, it was a description of reality. The Father, the source, the field, pure consciousness, wasn't somewhere above him. It was the very essence flowing through him. And because he saw no separation between himself and the source, he also saw no separation between himself and the world the source had created. Most people live inside a tiny bubble of identity. They wake up and immediately remember their name, their problems, their stories, where they live, their job. They move through the day believing they are a small person in a big world. But Jesus didn't live that way. He looked out at life and felt only the vastness of the field, the same divine energy in all things. Imagine you're standing in front of the ocean. You look at the waves and instantly feel that's the sea. I'm over here looking at it. That's ordinary perception, separation. But now imagine looking again with quiet eyes. Imagine realizing that the same consciousness that lets you see the ocean is the same consciousness that moves the ocean. You are not watching life, you are life, watching itself. That's how Jesus saw everything, as one shared movement of being. He didn't need to merge with the water because he was never apart from it. I will repeat it because this is a really crucial point. He was never apart from it. I want you to pause this video for just a second and repeat this sentence to yourself. And that's what true oneness means. It's not about believing in a higher power. It's about experiencing that there is no higher or lower, not me and it. Just one vast, intelligent awareness, experiencing as everything you can see, touch, or feel. And that awareness responds to vibration. When your vibration is filled with fear, the world reflects fear. When your vibration is filled with love, the world reflects love. That's why Jesus could say, "According to your faith, be it unto you." He wasn't talking about blind belief. He was describing resonance. Faith meant the inner vibration you hold, the frequency of knowing. If you know unity, life mirrors unity. If you know lack, life mirrors lack. So when Jesus looked at someone who was sick, he didn't align with their pain. He didn't see the illness as something real. He saw beyond it. He aligned with the vibration of truth, wholeness, and in that vibration, the body simply returned to harmony. It's not that he changed the laws of nature, he aligned with their deeper level. At the surface, there are physical laws. Beneath those, vibrational laws. And beneath those, pure consciousness, the field itself. When the awareness is completely still, when the I dissolves into unity, you move at a deepest level. You don't need to control the outer world. You simply are the world, and it moves with you. That's what Jesus demonstrated again and again. He didn't perform miracles to prove power. He demonstrated the natural state of the one who remembers their unity with all that is. So the laws of physics apply to separation, but unity operates by different laws, laws of vibration, not matter. And this can be felt in everyday life too. You don't need to walk on water to experience it. Let's say you want to heal something or manifest love. The moment you think, I need to get something I don't have, you've already stepped out of the field. You've told the universe, there's me, and there's something missing or something else. And the universe always mirrors what you feel. But if instead you rest in the knowing that you and that thing that you desire are already part of the same field, something begins to rearrange. Energy moves, situations shift, people appear, healing happens. Not because you forced it, but because alignment replaced separation. This is what Jesus understood. He didn't look at the storm and think, I must calm it down. He was the calmness, and the storm responded. He didn't look at illness and think, I must heal this person. He saw wholeness, and the body aligned with that vision. The outer world always follows the inner vibration. And that's why he said, as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. Because belief in that context doesn't mean positive thinking. It means vibrational knowing. A deep, quiet recognition that there is only one life, one essence, one consciousness, flowing through everything. So when you ask how Jesus walked on water, the real answer is he didn't overcome the water. He remembered he was the water. And when the illusion of separation fell away, there was nothing left to sink into. So now we can ask, how can someone like you or me start to experience this same field? How can we begin to sense the unity that allowed Jesus to walk on water, heal, and live it in complete alignment? So the first step is awareness. Most of the time, our attention is scattered. We're thinking about the past, worrying about the future, or judging what we see. We're not actually noticing life as it is. We're only noticing our ideas about it. And that creates separation. Awareness is simple, but not always easy. It means pausing, even for a few moments, and noticing the present without labeling it. Notice your body, notice your breath, notice your surroundings. but don't think of them as mine or separate. See them as part of the same flow that you are part of. This is the doorway into the field. The second step is understanding connection. Everything you see, people, animals, nature, is made from the same life force. It moves through every part of existence. When you understand this, you realize that there is no other. There is no other. There is no distance between you and anything in your experience. Everything is alive and everything responds to the vibration you hold inside. When Jesus looked at the world around him, the sea, the people, the illnesses, the storms, he didn't see them as separate things. He saw them as movements inside one single ocean of consciousness. Most of us, when we face something difficult, immediately create a division. We say, that problem is over there, and I am here. And that separation is what creates fear. But Jesus understood that everything he saw was made of the same substance of creation, the same divine awareness that he himself was. So when he looked at the water, he didn't think, I'm a man standing on top of water. He thought, or rather knew, this too is me. That knowing changed the vibration, and vibration always determines how energy behaves. The third step is adjusting your inner vibration. Most of us carry tension, fear, and doubt without even knowing. So this creates blockages in the field. Just didn't fight or push against anything. He simply aligned with love, calm, and trust. That alignment, complete and unwavering, allowed energy to flow naturally. Water could hold him. The sick could be healed. Life could respond effortlessly. If you see yourself as separate from the thing you want to influence, it will resist you. But if you dissolve that boundary, if you recognize that you and the experience are both expressions of the field, of one field, reality softens. It stops opposing you. This is why Jesus could calm a storm just by speaking. It wasn't the words, it was the vibration of unity behind them. It was the consciousness that knew there is no conflict within God. And finally, the fourth step is consistent practice. So you won't fill the field once and be done. It grows the more you return to it. Every time you pause, notice, release judgment, and rest in the sense of connection, you straighten your ability to feel unity. Little by little, life starts to mirror that inner state. And then events, opportunities, and even people begin to appear in ways that reflect alignment and not struggle. Jesus once said, "The kingdom of God is within you." He didn't mean a place, he meant a state of consciousness, the place inside where everything returns to one. And the remarkable part is we all have access to it. The doorway is always here. Awareness, connection, alignment, and practice. Step by step, moment by moment, you can begin to sense the unity that moves life itself. And when that happens, the impossible starts to feel natural. Walking on water, healing, manifesting, and not because you are doing something extraordinary, but because you are finally remembering what always was true. You are life itself, and life responds to the vibration you hold within. So, as you listen to this, take a moment to really let that sink in. Notice that the power Jesus demonstrated wasn't about doing something outside of himself. It was about remembering the truth of who he already was. It was about living in harmony with the one consciousness that flows through all things. And before we continue, if this message is resonating with you, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and like the video. It helps this message reach others who are curious about consciousness, alignment, and living in the flow of life. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe miracles are still possible today, or were they only for that time in history? And now returning to our understanding. Every day you have the opportunity to touch the same field. Every moment you can pause, become aware, and feel the connection between yourself and everything around you. You don't need to perform miracles to experience the truth. Healing, clarity, love, and peace all become accessible the moment your awareness steps into alignment. When Jesus healed, he didn't try to heal. He didn't beg the energy to change. He didn't command it through effort. He simply saw wholeness where others saw brokenness. Imagine someone standing before him who was ill. Most of us would look and think, this person is sick. But Jesus saw something entirely different. He looked beyond the physical form and perceived the divine pattern, the perfect blueprint that already existed beneath the appearance. His attention never joined the illusion of separation. He didn't focus on the sickness, he focused on the truth behind it. That person was already whole, already connected to the source, and because he stayed aligned with that vibration of truth, reality rearranged itself to match it. So, in other words, he didn't fix the world, he remembered it. That's the real essence of healing. It's not changing what's there. It's returning to the awareness that everything was never broken to begin with. This is why he said, according to your faith, be it unto you. Faith in this sense isn't blind belief. It is the unwavering knowing that reality reflects consciousness, that energy responds to how deeply you remember unity. It's all about remembrance. And the beautiful part is that Jesus told us we could do the same. He that believes in me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than this. He wasn't asking us to worship him. He was pointing to the same consciousness that lived through him, the same field you and I are part of right now. When you start to see through that lens, even for a few moments, you begin to realize that the miraculous isn't rare. It's the natural state of awareness when you stop dividing yourself from what is. Every moment offers the chance to remember you're not separate from life. Life flows through you. And when you align with that flow, everything begins to move with you, effortlessly, naturally, and in perfect harmony. So maybe walking on water was never really about defying gravity. Maybe it was about remembering unity, the stillness of consciousness that holds everything together. When Jesus entered this state, he wasn't doing magic, he was being truth. He was fully synchronized with that divine awareness that moves through all life, through you, through me, through every atom of creation. And that same awareness is not gone. It's not reserved for saints or prophets. It's here, waiting to be noticed whenever you quiet the noise. The noise of me and that, I and them, and here and there. When you begin to live from that space, even for a few seconds a day, you start to feel a shift. Your energy becomes lighter. You stop struggling to make things happen, and life starts to flow toward you, as if the current itself recognizes you. That is the essence of what Jesus demonstrated, not a lesson about worship, but a living reminder of what's possible when consciousness stops fighting with reality. When you stop trying to walk on water and realize you already are. If this message touched something in you, take a moment to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who might need a little spark of faith today. And remember, the same light that walked on water lives in you, always has, and always will. Take care.